Now, I don't know if it's just me, but did you know we've been lied to all this while and we didn't even notice? For the past decade, the phrase Big Three has been tossed around like gospel in hip-hop debates. Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole, the holy trinity of the 2010s. The chosen ones, the chart kings, the lyrical gods. The ones who could stop the culture just by breathing on a beat. But here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. That whole Big Three thing? It's a myth, a carefully crafted illusion by these mighty labels, and in 2024, that illusion got shattered into 1,000 pieces thanks to Kendrick and Drake declaring war on each other. But the interesting part is while Kendrick and Drake were at loggerheads battling it out with each other, J. Cole was busy doing a rather unnecessary apology tour, and to be honest, let's say we accept that the Big Three is a real thing. Then you do agree that at least one of these thrones is looking a lot emptier now than ever, don't you think? See, we all know the rap game doesn't wait for anyone. The culture keeps moving, and the second you show weakness, someone else is right there ready to take your spot. Whether it's Future, Travis, Tyler, or someone new entirely, there's a long line of hungry artists with platinum plaques and loyal armies who don't care about your Mount Rushmore. So in this video, we're breaking it all down. Who fumbled, who stayed solid, and why the entire concept of a Big Three might just be holding hip-hop back. By the end of this, you're going to have a whole new take on what greatness in this era really looks like, and if you're mad about it, good. Now let's get into it. Now, there was a time, not that long ago, when nobody dared question the Big Three of Drake, Kendrick, and Cole. It wasn't a debate, it was fact, like gravity. These three weren't just rappers, they were household names. Anytime they drop new music, everything else stops. From the timelines to Reddits, you'd see rap fans transformed into analysts overnight, breaking down metaphors like they were decoding ancient texts. Each one of these guys carved their own lane. Drake had the numbers, the legendary hooks, the global hits. He was the pop-rap hybrid who turned heartbreak and IG captions into billion streaming anthems. Kendrick had the critical acclaim. Pulitzer Prize, concept albums, layered storytelling that made you replay songs 10 times and still miss the point. But J. Cole had the underdog spirit. No excess features, no antics, just pure pen game. He was the rapper's rapper, the thinking man's MC. Now, while these three didn't come up together, they rose around the same time. The blog era, the mixtape days, the birth of streaming. They represented the last time hip-hop had a class of lyrical giants who could sell out arenas and go bar for bar with anyone. And for years they operated like the royalty they are. They didn't even need to say it. They knew. We knew. Until J. Cole finally said it out loud with that unique bar on First Person Shooter where he rapped, "We the Big Three like we started a league, but right now I feel like Muhammad Ali." That bar wasn't just a flex, it was a stamp, a declaration, and honestly, J. Cole isn't wrong for saying he felt like Muhammad Ali. I mean, when it comes to hip-hop, he is that good. But comparing himself to Ali wasn't always going to sit well with the likes of Kendrick. No way. Cole probably wanted to solidify the talk of the Big Three with that one line, but it ended up doing the opposite. It cracked it. Because once you say it out loud, people get to ask questions. Are they really the Big Three, or are there others that are more deserving? That one verse by Cole on First Person Shooter was the beginning of something massive. We all know it was the ignition that lit up the massive storm that shook the hip-hop industry in 2024. The moment K-Dot heard Cole crown himself Ali, he lost it. He was like, if you're Ali in this so-called Big Three, then what am I? Which is a valid question, by the way. And when something rubs off on Kung Fu Kenny the wrong way, you can trust he's going to address it. And he did, with that aggressive line on Like That, where he said, "Mother F the Big Three, it's just Big Me." Like That was really a lit track as a whole, but you see, this bar, it was the declaration of war that blew everything up. And as you know by now, what followed that release by K-Dot was a lyrical bloodbath. Now, there's one thing we have to do, and that's to give it up for Drake for real. He showed that he had balls of steel when he fired back with push-ups and the tailor-made freestyle. Hate him or love him, he landed some blows on those tracks. The blows hit so hard that Kendrick went nuts and he unloaded Euphoria, 616 in LA, Meet the Grams, and then Not Like Us, the ultimate nuke on Drake. Hip-hop has witnessed some of the most iconic beefs in the music industry, but nobody has seen anything like this, at least not in the streaming era. It wasn't just rap beef, it was warfare. You could feel the hate pulsing in their veins with every bar. There were no subliminals, no safe shots. Both Drake and Kendrick went on a rampage of full-on character assassinations. Each record felt like a public execution, and we were all watching. For the first time in over a decade, the entire rap world was locked in. Reddit, Twitter, TikTok, it didn't matter where you looked. The question was the same. Who's winning, Drake or Kendrick? I can't believe it's been a year already. I mean, what a time that was for us as hip-hop fans. The debate was massive, but the wildest part is that this was the first time two members of the self-acclaimed Big Three actually faced off like this. The first time two of the three titans went toe-to-toe for the throne. But while they were trading haymakers, everyone started looking around like, yo, where's Cole? After all, he was the one who tried to solidify the Big Three. How come a 1v1 match for rap supremacy was going down and the third corner of the triangle was missing? The moment everyone realized Cole wasn't getting in the boxing ring, many believed he had automatically forfeited his position in the Big Three because he wasn't willing to go to war for it. So naturally, the question becomes, who's stepping up next? Now, let's be real. You should know by now that hip-hop doesn't do vacancies, and if one of the Big Three can't carry the crown anymore because it's too heavy, somebody is going to take that spot, and right now, there are three serious contenders, each one with enough heat, legacy, and impact to claim that third chair, or maybe even flip the whole hierarchy. Let's break it down. First on the list, we've got Future. Now, if we're being honest, Future doesn't really need the Big Three validation. The streets already crowned him. I mean, very few rappers can rival his mixtape era. There's no denying those mixtapes defined a generation. Is it Dirty Sprite 2 or Monster? Or maybe 56 Nights? Man, Future was on a roll. Rather than chase the crown, he became the culture. You'd rarely see anybody from the South who would agree with you that Kendrick and Cole are bigger than Future Hendrix. In fact, depending on who you ask, he's second only to Drake. You know, Charlemagne once said Future has more impact on the culture than J. Cole and possibly even Kendrick. While he received a lot of stick for his bold opinion, you can't deny that it's not just talk. The numbers back it up. Future's got 9 #1 albums, countless platinum plaques, and one of the most legendary catalogs in trap music history, and that catalog is forever evolving. We Don't Trust You dropped in 2024 and instantly reminded people that he never left. Y'all could argue that he isn't lyrical enough. Y'all could say he doesn't make think piece albums, but here's the thing. Future never needed heavy bars. He had his own vibe that is unique to him. He's never going to dispute that he isn't as lyrical as Cole or Kendrick, but when it comes to making good music, he's definitely up there. And if you want to use the angle of influence, look at every new wave rapper. Look at the flows, the beats, the attitude. 9 times out of 10, you're looking at a Future clone. This guy is the blueprint. Now, you see, if Future owns the streets, then Travis Scott owns the stadiums. When Astroworld dropped in 2018, Travis went from underground cult favorite to global megastar. That album did 537,000 in its first week and gave us sicko mode, stargazing, and stop trying to be God. It wasn't just an album, it was a career-altering moment, and even after the Astroworld tragedy, which could have ended his career, Travis came back stronger. He dropped Utopia in 2023 and quietly became the third most streamed rapper of all time on Spotify, yes, above Kendrick and Cole. And the craziest part is that Travis doesn't even call himself a rapper. He always maintained he's just an artist, that's his whole vibe. He makes music to perform, he builds soundscapes, not verses. His focus isn't on metaphors, it's on creating moments. You've seen the shows, you've seen the chaos that happens there. Nobody else is making festivals feel like war zones and church services all at the same time. And don't get it twisted, he's respected by all 3 of the originals. Drake has collaborated with him a couple times, the same as Cole and Kendrick, so they know just how massive he is in the game. There have been rumors lately that Travis and Drake aren't as cool as they used to be. Academics hinted recently that there's a major rapper with a secret beef with Drake. So far, everyone thinks it's Travis, and man, if that's true, that's a battle nobody is ready for. Whether you fancy him or not, Travis has got the reach, he's got the catalog, and he's got the fan base. So if he ever wants that big 3 seat, it's there for the taking. But right now, he's just too cool to care about something like that. And now for the last contender, we've got Tyler, the Creator. If there's one rapper who flipped the script on everyone's expectations, it's definitely Tyler. The guy who used to eat roaches and make troll songs on YouTube is now a 2-time Grammy winner, a fashion icon, and maybe the most authentic voice in modern rap. He didn't climb the charts with pop singles, he didn't chase Drake features or TikTok trends. He built his empire with pure creativity. Flower Boy, Igor, Call Me If You Get Lost, Chromacopia, you name it. Every album is different, every rollout is an experience. He's one of the few rappers who's getting better as he gets older and people are finally noticing. Critics are starting to ask if he is Big 3 worthy, but what about you? Do you think he is? Because think about it, Tyler puts up huge numbers, he sells out global tours, his fans are obsessed with him. He's influencing fashion, production, and even how rap albums are structured. He's Kendrick level creative, but with Future level trolling and Travis level vision. But the reason Tyler isn't already in the Big 3 convo is that he doesn't care. He never did. To Tyler, this whole top 3 obsession is a distraction. He doesn't want your throne when he's busy building a planet, and yet the numbers, the impact, the artistry, it all says the same thing. Tyler might not care about being in the Big 3, but he's not far off either. Let's be honest. The phrase Big 3 used to mean something, but in 2025 it feels like a relic from another era. Hip-hop has always had more than 3 big hitters in every generation, and even though a select few might be the most popular, the rest are no slouches either. The idea of the Big 3 made sense in the blog days when there were still gatekeepers, but that's not the world we live in anymore. Now the fans run everything. We don't wait for Rap Caviar to tell us who's hot. We decide on TikTok, on Reddit, on Twitter, on whatever app your little cousin is using to discover music while skipping school. Today, an artist can drop a snippet, go viral overnight, and be selling out tours before their debut album even drops. While most still need a label, there are others who don't. They don't even need the cosigns. All they need is a fan base that believes. And that's what makes the whole Big 3 concept feel outdated. It was built for a time when there was a clear system, a structure you had to climb. Now, there's no ladder. It's chaos, controlled by algorithms and vibes. Artists like Playboi Carti, Lil Baby, Uzi, Ice Spice, and Yeet, they're not waiting for approval. They're just moving, racking up numbers, selling out shows, controlling the culture. And it's not just one demographic anymore. You've got underground rappers with cult followings making more impact than Grammy winners. You've got TikTok drill songs outcharting projects with enormous budgets. This isn't the blog era, this is the fan era, and that's why the idea of a Big 3 feels like a broken formula. It was built to measure success in a world that no longer exists. Drake, Kendrick, and Cole have undoubtedly amassed incredible numbers with their one-of-a-kind music catalog, but the same can be said of some other rappers who've been in the game as long as they've been. Gone are the days when there used to be only 3 seats at the table. Now there's no table anymore, and maybe, just maybe, that's better for the culture. So maybe it's time to stop chasing some fixed idea of who belongs in the Big 3 and start asking, who's your Big 3? Is it still Drake, Kendrick, and Cole, or do you think someone like Future, Travis, or Tyler deserves that seat? Because at the end of the day, the power isn't with the labels anymore, it's with you. So hit the comments and tell us who belongs in the Big 3 now, or at least who makes it to the list of your own Big 3. Make your case and let's start the debate.